Go.
Hey, this is Glenn with Radiant, and in light of recent events, we are just figuring out new ways to stay connected and, most importantly, to stay grounded in the Word on a day-to-day basis. So we want to be rooted in God's Word more than any other word right now. So I'm going to be coming at you with my Starbucks tea, as long as Starbucks drive-thru is still open, and John 15. That's what we're doing today. John 15. Just going to read it, make a few comments, and then pray. So, John 15, these are the words of Jesus the night before he was crucified. He said, "I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine dresser. Every branch in me that does not bear fruit, he takes away, and every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes, that it may bear more fruit. Already you are clean because of the word that I have spoken to you. Abide in me, and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit by itself, unless it abides in the vine, neither can you unless you abide in me." And as I continue, I would just encourage you to follow along in your own Bibles. I'm reading the ESV. So verse 5. "I am the vine, you are the branches. Whoever abides in me and I in him, he it is that bears much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing. If anyone does not abide in me, he is thrown away like a branch and withers, and the branches are gathered, thrown into the fire and burned. If you abide in me, and my words abide in you, ask whatever you wish, and it will be done for you. By this my Father is glorified, that you bear much fruit, and so prove to be my disciples. As the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Abide in my love. If you keep my commandments, you will abide in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. These things I have spoken to you, that my joy may be in you, and that your joy may be full." Okay. I picked this because I do feel like it's timely for right now, but it's also just packed in this one short passage are some of the most important truths of Christianity. And I feel like now, if ever, is a good time just to kind of go back to the basics and dig in. And so here are just a few comments about this passage from John 15. So here's the major truth that Jesus is communicating. He says, "I'm the true vine," right off the bat. And he calls us the branches. So the vine is where we get our life. And he says, "I'm the true vine." So where are you getting your life right now? Are you receiving it from Jesus and finding your satisfaction in him? Or are you finding it in something else right now? That's the truth he's communicating, is that we must stay connected to him to receive true life. And with that, he also adds that he prunes, or he cuts, or he cleans the branches. And in our lives, pruning is just any time that we lose something, anytime something is cut away. And so again, a lot of us are losing things right now, just normal comforts, parts of our life are being taken away. And so I'm sure God's doing lots of things in the midst of this, but for sure one thing that's happening is he is pruning. So the command that Jesus gives, so this is the truth he lays out. He's the vine, and he prunes, which is a positive thing, not a bad thing. It's not a sign that we did something wrong. It's a good thing. He cuts back. The command that he tells us is to abide in him, or remain in him. So that's a word about intentional intimacy with God. What does it look like to abide in Jesus? Mostly that just means putting your attention on him, just setting your mind on him. That could be in prayer, that could be in the word, that could be at the end of this video, just taking a deep breath and putting the eyes of your imagination on the Father on his throne and just seeing him in total control, at peace, pleased with you, with a smile over you. Abide in him. That's the command. Now here's possibly the best part of this passage, is that he has promises for those who are abiding in him, who are making that intentional focus on him. First, he says that there's going to be more fruit in your life, which that's more of God's will being done, more of an impact on the people around you. There's going to be more answered prayer. He says, ask what you will when you're abiding, and it will be done for you. And then finally, I like this one a lot, more joy. And we'll just end with that last verse, this last promise. He says, these things I've spoken to you about him being the vine, pruning, and that we would abide in him, that, this is Jesus saying, my joy may be in you, and that your joy may be full. Jesus, let it be done in our hearts today. In your name, amen.